Hello there, fellow business enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the thrilling world of the working capital turnover ratio. Don't worry, I promise it's more exciting than it sounds. Think of it as the financial equivalent of figuring out how many times you can spin a basketball on your finger without dropping it. It's all about efficiency, baby. Essentially, the working capital turnover ratio tells you how efficiently your business is using its short-term assets. Things like cash, inventory, and those delightful accounts receivables to generate those sweet, sweet sales. It's a measure of how well you're playing the financial game, turning those assets into revenue like a boss. Now, you might be wondering, John, why should I care about this ratio? I'm too busy crafting artisanal sourdough bread for this financial mumbo-jumbo. Well, my friend, understanding this ratio can be the difference between your business soaring to new heights or, going flatter than your focaccia. So, buckle up, buttercups, as we embark on this whirlwind adventure to demystify the working capital turnover ratio. It's going to be a wild ride, filled with laughs, insights, and maybe even a few tears of joy, of course. Section 2, Crunching the Numbers, the Working Capital Turnover Ratio Formula. Alright folks, let's get down to brass tacks and dissect this ratio like a frog in biology class. Sorry, frogs. The formula is surprisingly simple, even for those of us who consider long division a form of cruel and unusual punishment. Here's the magic formula. Working capital turnover ratio equals net annual sales divided by average working capital. See? That wasn't so bad, was it? It's like making a cup of instant coffee. Simple, straightforward, and definitely more enjoyable than watching paint dry. Now, let's break down the components of this formula. Net annual sales. This is the money you rake in from selling your awesome products or services, minus any returns, discounts, or allowances. Basically, it's the good stuff, the revenue that keeps your business afloat. Average working capital. This one is a bit trickier. It represents the average amount of money your business has tied up in its day-to-day operations. To calculate it, you take the average of your current assets, things your business owns that can be converted into cash within a year, and subtract your current liabilities, what you owe within a year. Think of it as the fuel that keeps your business engine running. Section 3. High ratio. High fives. What a healthy ratio means for your business. A high working capital turnover ratio is like winning the business lottery, except you don't actually win any money. But hey, a good ratio is pretty rewarding in itself. It means your company is a lean, mean, revenue-generating machine, efficiently using its working capital to churn out sales like nobody's business. So what does a high ratio tell us? Let me break it down for you. You're a cash flow ninja. A high ratio indicates you're collecting payments from customers quickly and efficiently, like a financial ninja swooping in to collect those hard-earned dollars. This means you have more cash on hand to reinvest in your business, pay your bills on time, and maybe even treat yourself to a fancy latte. Your inventory management is on point. A high ratio suggests you're not overstocking inventory and tying up valuable cash in products that are gathering dust on the shelves. You're like a master chef, ordering just the right amount of ingredients to create your culinary masterpieces. You're a negotiation guru. Efficiently managing your accounts payable, what you owe to suppliers, is crucial for a healthy working capital turnover ratio. A high ratio implies you're negotiating favorable payment terms with suppliers, stretching those payment deadlines like a yoga instructor on a roll. In a nutshell, a high working capital turnover ratio is a sign that your business is financially fit, efficient, and well-positioned for growth. It's like receiving a gold star on your financial report card, and trust me, those gold stars are hard to come by. Section 4. Low ratio, low blow, unveiling potential business bottlenecks. Now let's talk about the flip side, a low working capital turnover ratio. This is where things get a bit more, shall we say, interesting. A low ratio can be a red flag, signaling that your business might be facing some financial hiccups. Don't panic just yet. A low ratio isn't necessarily a death sentence for your business. It's more like a gentle nudge, or maybe a not-so-gentle shove, to take a closer look at your operations and identify areas for improvement. Here are a few potential culprits behind a low working capital turnover ratio. Inventory overload. Are you holding on to too much inventory? Excess inventory ties up cash and can lead to storage costs, obsolescence, and a whole lot of stress. It's like having a closet full of clothes you never wear. It's time to do some spring cleaning. Slow paying customers. We've all been there, dealing with customers who take their sweet time paying invoices. Slow payments can wreak havoc on your cash flow and drag down your working capital turnover ratio. It's like waiting for a bus that never seems to arrive. Frustrating, to say the least. Inefficient operations. Sometimes, a low ratio can be a symptom of deeper operational inefficiencies. Are your processes streamlined? Are you using technology to automate tasks? Inefficiencies can lead to wasted time, money, and resources, ultimately impacting your working capital turnover ratio. It's like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. Not exactly a recipe for success. Section 5. Case studies of working capital turnover ratio in action. Let's dive into some real-world examples to see how different businesses have navigated the ups and downs of their working capital turnover ratios. First up, we have a small retail business that struggled with inventory management. By implementing just-in-time inventory practices, they were able to free up cash and improve their ratio significantly. Next, let's look at a manufacturing company that faced issues with slow-paying customers. By tightening their credit policies and offering early payment discounts, they managed to speed up their cash inflows and boost their working capital turnover ratio. And finally, a tech startup that was bogged down by inefficient operations. By investing in automation and streamlining their processes, they reduced waste and saw a marked improvement in their ratio. These case studies show that with the right strategies, you can turn things around and make your working capital work for you. Section 6. When working capital takes a nosedive. So what happens when your working capital turnover ratio takes a nosedive? Well, it's not the end of the world, but it is a wake-up call. A plummeting ratio can indicate serious issues that need immediate attention. It could be a sign of declining sales, rising costs, or even poor financial management. Ignoring these signs can lead to more significant problems down the road, so it's crucial to act swiftly. The first step is to conduct a thorough analysis of your financials. Identify the root cause of the decline and develop a plan to address it. This might involve cutting unnecessary expenses, renegotiating terms with suppliers, or even reevaluating your business model. Remember, the goal is to get your working capital turnover ratio back on track and ensure the long-term health of your business. Section 7. Why working capital management is your business's secret weapon. Effective working capital management is more than just a financial metric. It's a powerful tool that can drive your business's success. By optimizing your working capital, you can improve liquidity, reduce financial stress, and create a more agile and resilient business. Think of it as having a secret weapon in your business arsenal. With proper working capital management, you can seize opportunities as they arise, whether it's investing in new projects, expanding your operations, or simply weathering economic downturns. It's all about making your money work harder for you. So, take control of your working capital and watch your business thrive.